Same question every day when she gets ready for school. What's the weather going to be like? She knows her mom watches the weather forecast on television. When Mom tells Yun-hee what the weather is, she can choose the right clothes to wear. Take a look at the highlighted areas, and when you're done, click the Next button to discover more about weather. The best part about rainy weather is jumping in puddles. Yun-hee has special clothes for rainy weather, just like her friend Josh. He's wearing a raincoat and rubber boots. An umbrella keeps his head dry, too. Yun-hee and her friend Jessica always know what to wear when snow falls. They wear thick jackets, hats, gloves, and warm boots so they can go sledding. Jessica's winter clothes keep her warm as she sleds down the hill. When Yun-hee knows that the weather is hot and sunny, she and her friends can dress in shorts, t-shirts, and flip-flops. It's so warm that they can even kick off their shoes on the beach. Welcome to the lesson, What is Weather? In this lesson, you'll learn about different types of weather and the tools we use to measure weather. The vocabulary words for this lesson are weather, wind, and temperature. Click each word to find out more about it. Snow can be lots of fun. You can make snowballs and build people made of snow. In some places, there can be so much snow that when it piles up, it's taller than a house. Wow! That's a lot of snow. Are you wearing short sleeves or long sleeves? When you get dressed in the morning, it helps to check the weather. The weather is what the air outside is like. It can be rainy, sunny, windy, clear, or cloudy. You'll also want to know the temperature. The temperature is how hot or cold it is. Click the pictures to learn more about kinds of weather. This is a sunny day. The sun is shining brightly. Some sunny days are warm. Other sunny days are cold. What do you think the temperature is like on this day? This is a rainy day. The rain falls from clouds in the sky. If you don't have an umbrella, you may get wet. This is a snowy day. It's cold outside. Snow is falling from the clouds. Sometimes rain falls from clouds and sometimes snow falls from clouds. Do you know why? It depends on the temperature. If it's a warm day, the water in the clouds falls as rain. If it's a very cold day, the water from the clouds falls as snow. This is an icy day. Sometimes the temperature is so cold that the water on the trees, streets, and the ground freezes into ice. Be careful. Those icy sidewalks are slippery. This is a windy day. You can't see the wind, but you can feel it. This is because wind is moving air. Sometimes the wind is calm. Other times the wind is moving so fast that it can make the trees bend. This is a cloudy day. The clouds move across the sky. Sometimes they block the sunlight, so it looks a little darker outside. Some clouds are fluffy and white. Other clouds are gray and low in the sky. They can bring rain. You can look at the way a windsock moves to tell the direction the wind blows. The windsock can also give you some idea of how fast the wind is moving. Click play to learn more about wind. Air can move in different directions and at different speeds. You can tell the wind is moving here because it makes the girl's hair move and the pinwheel spin. If the wind blew harder, the pinwheel would spin faster. If the wind stopped, the pinwheel would stop. You can use tools to tell the wind speed and from what direction the wind is blowing. There are many kinds of weather. Look carefully at the pictures. Think about the temperatures. Choose the word that best describes that weather. Drag each label to its picture. Is it raining? Is it snowing? What's falling from the sky? Different forms of water fall from the sky. Depending on the weather, you may see rain, snow, sleet, or hail. On warmer days, you could see rain, while on colder days, you could see snow, sleet, or hail. Click the pictures to learn more about the different forms of water that fall from the sky. Rain happens when water falls from clouds. Sometimes the water drops are large and heavy, and sometimes they are small and light. Rain showers may last just a few minutes or all day. You can use a rain gauge to collect and measure the amount of water that falls from the sky. Snow happens when the air outside is very cold. You can use a thermometer to see what the temperature outside is. If it's cold enough, water in clouds turns solid and falls to the ground as snow. Sometimes just a few snowflakes drift to the ground. Other times there are so many snowflakes falling that you can hardly see in front of you. Is sleet snow or rain? Not really. Sleet is freezing rain that falls from the sky. It can also be snow that has melted and refrozen. Sleet falls from the sky as tiny ice pellets. Snowflakes feel light and soft when they land on your hand, but sleet is not light and fluffy at all. It feels hard when it lands on your hand. Are those tiny snowballs? No, that is hail. Hail falls from the sky as frozen chunks of ice called hailstones. Be sure to stay inside when it hails because hailstones can hurt you when they fall. Can you see the tiny drops of water? That is mist. Mist makes the air feel wet and cool. Scientists observe and track weather over time using many weather tools. You can use weather tools too. You can collect rain in a rain gauge. A rain gauge is a tube that collects rain when it falls. The marks on the side show how much rain has fallen. You can use a thermometer to tell how hot or cold it is outside. Click the pictures to learn more. Is it snowy or rainy? Warm or cool? The thermometer says it is 16 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cool. The rain gauge shows 2.5 centimeters of rain has fallen. You could put on your raincoat and boots and splash in the puddles. Is it cloudy or clear? Cool or cold? The thermometer says it is 4 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Brr! That's cold! The rain gauge shows 5 centimeters of rain has fallen. It would be a good day to snuggle up with a book inside. Is it calm or windy? Hot or cold? The wind is blowing. The thermometer says it is 32 degrees Celsius and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hot. The rain gauge is empty, so it hasn't rained. This is a good day to fly a kite. Is it sunny or cloudy? Warm or cold? The thermometer says it is 27 degrees Celsius and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's warm. The rain gauge is empty, so it hasn't rained. It's a good day to go on a picnic at the lake. Have you ever watched a weather forecast on television? It can tell you what the weather was like. It also predicts what the weather will be like the next day. How do weather forecasters make predictions? They observe and track the weather over time. Click the pictures to learn more about how to track weather. Weather satellites travel around Earth. They gather information about the weather and send it back to computers on Earth. Scientists use this information to predict what weather will happen. Weather balloons fly above the ground. They collect data about the air. They can tell different things, like how fast the wind is moving and how much water is in the air. Then scientists use this information to predict how the weather will change. A weather station is a special building for learning about the weather. It can have different tools to observe different things. It may measure the temperature, wind direction, or the rainfall. By looking at the information from the weather station, scientists can predict what the weather will be like in the future. Rain gauges and thermometers can help you understand the weather. Look at the rain gauge and thermometer. Think about which words would best describe that weather. Click your answer. That's right. The rain gauge has collected 10 centimeters of rain. The thermometer points to 21 degrees Celsius and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Rain gauges are used to tell how much rain has fallen. A thermometer tells how hot or cold the temperature is outside. We know the weather on this day is rainy and warm because the temperature is high and the rain gauge has water in it. You've learned a lot about different kinds of weather and how they can be measured and described. Let's review the main ideas from the lesson. The weather changes all the time. It can be sunny, cloudy, clear, rainy, windy, calm, snowy, or icy. The temperature can be hot or cold. There are many different kinds of weather. The wind is moving air. It can move slowly or fast. You can describe the wind's speed and direction. There are many different tools you can use to measure weather. Windsocks show how the wind blows. A rain gauge tells how much rain has fallen. A thermometer tells you how hot or cold it is. Scientists can use tools to collect information about the weather. They can record this information and track the weather over time. Now that you've finished this lesson, if you wish, you can go back and review any part of the lesson again.